What's up, peoples, and welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast, where the goal is to rise above it all. Stay elevated, create that infinity, and up your you. This is a special one because it's my birthday, and while I'm not supposed to work on my birthday, I figured this would be an awesome time to just reflect. Honestly, reflect with you guys, chill with you guys a little bit, and have my listeners a part of this very special day. And, I was on the road. The thing I love about long drives is the ability to just think, right? You're in this car. You can't really go anywhere unless you got to stop and get gas or use the bathroom. But I was in the car for a good 5 hours, and I had some podcasts on at some point, listened to music, talked to my bro. But most of that time was spent in silence and me reflecting and just feeling and processing and really, really, really leaning into what today means, what this birthday means. I've talked about birthdays before, but, it gets to a point where you stop waiting for things to be perfect and makes sense, and you look at how much you've created and how much you work to be persistent and persevere. One of the things that I like to do every birthday is I like to write down, so whatever my age is for that year, I write down how many things I'm grateful for that number. So obviously, this year is going to be 65, maybe 80, for good measures. But I think that's an amazing thing because, for me personally, it's just an opportunity for me to take stock in the person that I am, the things that I cultivate, and just really take time to look at life and what it is. Because candle wishes, I feel like it's anxiety, right? It's like everybody's watching you and they're like, all right, hurry up and blow out these damn candles. So it's like, your mind is racing and you're like, did I wish for the right thing? Whatever the case may be. And I feel like when I just, at the end of the night before the clock strikes 12, I always write out however old I am, that I write that amount of gratitudes, things that I value about myself. And it's cool to look at, it's cool to look at, it's cool to think about. So that's just something that I do. If you have any rituals, or if you don't have a ritual, consider that. One of my TikTok followers was saying how someone they know writes a letter to their older self. So like the previous year as they move into the new year. And I think that's great too. Like any opportunity. And that's the thing. It's like, I think it's more of a time where we start recognizing the importance of getting or developing a healthier relationship with us, and letting that be the catalyst for every other relationship we have. And it, it's not easy, right? It's not easy because we think too much that we're not doing something, or society kind of implies that we have to be this other thing to be desirable. And it's like, nah, what if you just fucking learn to just be like, hey, I want to get to know you. You seem like a dope ass person. Let me get to know who you are. So, that's what I do. I really try to like exist in that space of like getting to know Isaiah. And there's still so much I don't know about me. And I think it's great because if I don't know all of like who I am, somebody else thinking that they know me is like, oh man, you have no idea. I have somewhat of an idea, but you don't know. And the beauty is, sometimes we don't see the parts of us that other people may notice. And those parts are usually the things that we try to deny or hide or push down or like suppress. And it's like, nah, all of who you are is important and it's necessary to be aware of and value to some capacity. So, that whole concept of like killing off your old self. And the way I think about it is kind of like a Mean Girlish. It's like, you ever see those movies or those TV shows where you have like the quirky kid and the cool kid, or the less quirky kid. They're best of friends, and then the less quirkier kid finds these cool friends to hang out with. And then they stop chilling with their best friend, the quirky kid. And I feel like sometimes where people are like, yeah, I had to kill that part of me off, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, no. This whole time, that part of you was looking for your attention. That part of you wanted you to love them and value them. And this entire time, you've just been trying to tell that part of you that they can't sit at the table with you. Or, hey, stop fucking standing around. You make me look bad. Like, what if you embrace that person and get to know who they are and value that? It's a whole different speed because you stop rejecting yourself. And the more you stop rejecting yourself, the more you stop, one, rejecting yourself for other people, but I also think you become more selective about your relationships in a healthy way because you understand who you are and you appreciate it. So nothing too deep, but yeah, gratitude, self-gratitude, self-reflection. Like if there's something, if it's a ritual that you have for your birthday, stick to it. I always get a haircut. I always make sure to get a haircut because something interesting I remember is that there's this whole concept of your hair holds on to energy, holds on to history. It's growing out of you, like growing out of your head, right? Growing out of your scalp. So as it grows out and down in certain ways, like out and down. And that your hair starts to get heavy. But also, a lot of times what we are carrying in our lives, our thoughts and our feelings, all that's heavy too. So when you cut it, it starts new, which is why getting a haircut feels like you feel like a new person, or getting your hair done feel like a new person. You're cutting old energy off. And I think that's cool. So I always make sure to get a haircut for my birthday and gratitudes. So yeah, that's just something to consider. But yeah, if you guys have rituals or develop a ritual, do something dope for your birthday. Make your own wishes come true. All that stuff matters. And I know I say it, but it's like at some point in time, you just really have to accept that because you spent so long, or I spent so long, thinking the opposite, waiting to, be happy or be at peace or, really value the work that I do. And it's kind of crazy how we get frustrated when other people don't value us right away. But yet it's still our entire life work is learning to value ourselves, whether or not other people do. And the beautiful thing about, I think, just this year in time, in the past year, just things that I could point to, and it's not so much about the thing, but it is a thing, right? So this time last year, I didn't have a book. This time last year, I wasn't at damn near 100,000 followers on TikTok. This time last year, I didn't have as many listeners and supporters of the podcast. This time last year, even though I was still going through seasons, it was a very different time last year. And everything that is this year is because in one way or another, I've decided to lean into something or show up to something or consistently pour into something or say something. All of these things were agents of change, and they all came from me, right? All came from me. And, at some point in time, you have to give yourself your own flowers. You have to give yourself your own flowers. And as much as we try to deny birthdays, or as much as I try to avoid my birthday in a lot of ways or really be subdued, is for what? The fuck are you going to subdue yourself for? Why dim your light? For what? Who are you trying to make comfortable by doing that? the people that don't show up for you. It's like sometimes you have to really give people. One of the things my mom always says, she said, make it hard for people to justify how they mishandle you. Make it hard. Make them work to do that. Make them work to justify. Because the truth of the matter is people always justify their shitty behavior. They will always do it. They don't need your help. They don't need you. Your only job is to exist in this life and make it difficult for people to count you out, decide that they're going to devalue you, overlook you, mistreat you, or just not be present. Make it fucking hard for people. Make them work. If somebody's going to be lazy with you, make them fucking work. And you do that just by being yourself. You do that by honoring who you are and celebrating yourself, and also valuing the people that celebrate you. And I think that's what this birthday is. It's all about honestly recognizing, regardless of where I feel I should be, where I am now has been a journey, and I've steered my course and I've stayed the course. And it only seems to be progressing. Like, it doesn't, as much as it feels like I'm stagnant, and this is, the Aries of me, like feels like there's a level of stagnancy and ambiguity. I ask for change. I ask for abundance in a lot of ways, and I'm making room for the things that I seek, the things that I've worked for, the person that I work to be. I can't play small. I can't continue to play small. For what's all of this work for if I'm going to play small the rest of my life? And who am I trying to take care of by playing small? Whose feelings are going to be affected by me being all of who I am? You think about that, right? Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want this person to think that I'm this and this. Fuck those people. Like I said, fuck what people think of you if they don't think about you when it matters. And I will take that into this new season of life and just really hone and understand that, because truth be told, everybody that's surveilling you is not everybody that's supporting you. And you have to be mindful of who are you, whose attention are you feeding, which wolf are you feeding? Are you keeping the relationships that you currently have that are healthy? Are you keeping those nurtured? Or are you starving yourself in order to feed somebody else's insecurities? And, it's a trip. I'm interested to see what this year brings, but I can say that it's been a year, and I just keep fucking showing up, and that's just what we gonna keep on doing. This this year started off crazy, but here we are, and I'm truly blessed to see another year of life and celebration, and just like so much that I've created and the person that I am. I was telling one of my clients today, I was like, man, my 20s, I was like, they were a nightmare. They were not enjoyable. And, my early 20s, he was like, well, whatever you needed to learn, you did it, and you did it well. And that was awesome to hear. That was really cool to hear. Sometimes we're just trying to do so much and be so much of who we think we should be that we overlook who we've become and how amazing that is. So on this birthday, that's my biggest wish, I think, for myself and whoever's listening. It's like, you will have hard seasons, but you have to look at the tree that you are that keeps withstanding those seasons, and how you continue to grow through season. Even if the leaves fall off, there's still another season that shows up and you fucking blossom. And that tree is rooted, it has history, and is grounded. And that's what matters. That's what matters. So I hope you guys have an amazing Friday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday, and I have some amazing people celebrating me. And yeah, I think my biggest wish now is just to keep this momentum going and keep this feeling going and just remember it. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Be a new episode coming out Monday. Oh yeah, if you want to make my birthday awesome and you're listening to this right now, if you have the coloring book, if you purchased a coloring book in one way or another and you want to do me a solid and do the book a solid, go to Barnes & Noble or go to Amazon and leave a rating and a review. That would mean the world. I'm trying to get this message out there a little bit more. So if you are listening to this podcast and you have the book, do your boy a favor and leave a review on one of those. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, doesn't matter. And if you already have, thank you very much. Also, if you want to become a Patreon supporter, do that. Link is also in the bio. What else? And if you haven't done it, leave a review of the podcast. Leave a rating. If you're listening on Spotify, tap the 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, tap the stars. Leave a review. Tell the people why you like this podcast. And yeah, that's my birthday wish. So if you guys could, make a buddy's birthday wish come true, that would be amazing. Review, support the podcast, become a Patreon, support the book, leave a book review, and drink some water. You guys stay amazing. Much love to all the listeners and the supporters. You guys are dopesies. And it's all love. We level up from here. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take flight.